manager here at the hotel, and I've been here for 4 years now. I work in the revenue department, which is a bit of a different structure to most hotels. My boss is the business development manager and revenue manager, and everything that I do and implement into the hotel should somehow affect revenue. This is why I've had such a key influence in this project. Before you're wondering why there's not a marketing person standing here, I will try and talk to you a bit about marketing, but it might be a bit more of an IT perspective on this. Our e-marketing manager is eventually going to start taking this over and really engaging the content specifically for the clients. Very much a work in progress as well, by the way. We just finished the install last week, so there's still bits and pieces to go. A bit about us. We've got 785 rooms here. At full occupancy, there's 1,206 guests. 220 staff members, excluding our housekeeping staff. 102 years in service now. We're owned by a company called London Regional, which is a property management company. They don't technically usually look after hotels, but they do have the management license. It's nice to see they put a lot of money into the hotel in recent years. We've just finished a 3-year bedroom renovation. Conference and events, this was finished last year, and next November 2013, the outside of the building will be fully restored. Did you see some of the scaffolding as you walked in? So that's coming down for the Olympics, and then it's all going back up after the Olympics. We have 2 restaurants, 3 bars and 1 cafe, and approximately 30 million pounds of turnover here. So why Simon Dacon? We first went to, there was a few of us that went to a conference in Las Vegas last year, and we saw digital signage the way it should be. We had digital signage here already, but it was very much a type some text here, put some pictures here, nothing interactive, no feeds, no live TV, nothing like that. So when we saw this at Las Vegas being done correctly, we said we must have that here. We had a look around in some of the companies in the US, but they weren't supported very well here. We found it's really important with our suppliers and the people that you're going to rely on a day-to-day basis to have a strong presence here. We've struggled with other companies before, so this was a key decision, key influence on the decision. We investigated 3 other solutions in the UK, but Simon came along with this exact one actually, and said, this is what we can do for you. And they didn't once ask me for our branding. They didn't once ask me for our photos, name of a conference room, nothing. I didn't know they were going to do this. I thought they were just going to show me a random interactive screen. But they put this in front of our senior management team, gave us a very good marketing presentation like Rob's, and explained that it's not just about technology and touchscreens, it's about engaging people in the right way, creating the right campaigns, and that was the main difference. The other companies just sort of plotted a screen on the desk and said to us, yeah, you can do this and you can do that, and it's easy. But they didn't really show us or take the time and effort to put this all together. The other reason from an IT perspective is I think their background is Nortel originally, doing the call screens in, correct me here?
In the contact centre.
That's it, yeah, with live reporting. And you'll see why that's important to us later down the line, because we've done some good integration with the system. So I've broken this down into menu screens, our back of house screens, our interactive screens, and then some other screens. So I'll just run through them with you. Why we've done these menu screens is because they're easy to change very quickly. Our menus are changing all the time. Our specials and promotions in the restaurants are changing all the time. And we don't want to keep printing all of this media and putting it on these horrible stands, menu stands we used to have. We wanted something high impact, and you'll see on the screens in a second. So we have 4 outlets. Johnson's Restaurant, the Mast Bar, the Carvery, and the Lounge Bar. Sorry, my screenshots aren't that clear, but you can see the two pictures down the bottom. So we always have special down there and high resolution pictures. which turns. So when you're walking in the lobby, it'll catch the corner of your eye, and people are turning and they're looking and going, well, what was all that about? And they stand there and they do really have a good read of these now. No one did that with our menu boards before. So again, high impact pictures down the right hand side that just revolve all the time. And this slide here actually is the second page of all of our menu screens. So we've decided that we only want to really push one big special across the board. So you're not confusing people if they move from one menu screen to the next menu screen to the next menu screen. It's one major promotion across the board. And this is the second slide that plays all the time. Does that make sense? So we then have some back of house screens. We have two. We have one. The one on the left-hand side is this one here. This is in our operations side of things. It sits in the back of our reception area. The reason we've done this is our current property management system, or our CMS, if you like, has very little live reporting. In fact, it doesn't really have any live reporting. If we want to see, for example, rooms on queue. So room on queue is when you arrive to the hotel and your room isn't ready. So you tick a box that says you've arrived, your room's not ready, we need to give you a call when your room's ready at 2 o'clock. This should be in your face all the time for reception staff, but our system unfortunately can't do that. So we wanted something that refreshes all the time so that we have up-to-date information. The way we were doing it was print previewing every 20 minutes or whenever the supervisors had time. Now this is right up in your face. We're going to make some changes and make things flash when the room becomes ready and things like that, really so that the staff can see. But VIP arrivals, once you can see here, it's got the housekeeping status, so we can tell if their room's been cleaned or not very quickly. As soon as they've checked in, that boosts the VIPs in-house here. We can see if at 12 o'clock rooms haven't been cleaned correctly on time, send up duty managers to go and see why these VIPs haven't been dealt with. This top right, this isn't working up here, but on our screen, the back office, it's got a TFL update, so the staff know if there's any issues on the tubes. And we've also got the weather, the 3-day weather forecast. Again, information that you're asked all the time on reception. The functions of meetings, and then group bookings, how many group bookings we have arriving that day. And then we have another screen back of house. We have a great big canteen area where 200 people eat every day. The information we need to feed to them needs to change all the time, and notice boards weren't doing it. So we put a great big screen up there. And these are examples back from February, I believe, so they're a bit out of date. So I thought I'd just give you an idea of what we're showing back of house to our staff. Training, the comments from guest cards and guest surveys, who the duty managers are on the day, just so that you know who to call and who you're speaking to. Again, more training. Birthdays. Anyone starting work that week. Our vacancies and our occupancy stat for the day. That brings me on to our interactive screens. Again, this sort of goes back to Las Vegas, where we saw the interactive screens being used really well. After the refurbishment of the downstairs and the bedrooms and things, we will eventually do the lobby, but that's not going to be for some time. So there was a sort of directive given to me from our general manager to tech up the lobby, make it more technical, put some iPads around the place, do something cool. So we started with the projector on the front, but I'll get to that. But we've put these great big interactive screens in, so please go and have a look at them when you've got a second. This is one here. The first thing we really wanted to tell people was the information about the refurbishment, what we're doing. It seemed that we weren't conveying why we're doing all of this work, and people were sort of getting annoyed about it all. So I said, well, why don't we stick up great big, I don't know if you've seen the Sainsbury's or shopping complexes when they say this is what's coming up and they put great big signs up and things. Well, they said, well, why don't you just do this on digital signage, which is why we did our projector in the first place. But we've also incorporated it into the touch screens here. So I'll run you through this quickly. If you click on This pulls directly from our CMS or our PMS and is our wayfinding solution. So when it automatically pulls up the time and the meeting name half an hour before they're due. And when you hit directions, it does some wayfinding on here. Restaurants and bars. Does a brief explanation and then pulls the menus for all of the restaurants and bars. Again, we can update that at the same time we're updating the menus on the other screens. A little bit about our bedrooms. We haven't gone into too much detail there because hopefully you're already staying with us, but we'll be using that for more of an upselling opportunity when we have the availability. So, and this one is my favourite. This is brilliant. We have got a big 60-inch plasma or LCD right next to our concierge services desk. There's quite a queue there sometimes, even with 3 staff members on. So we're hoping that this will really give people the information they want. And usually it is just directions, prices, and times. So if you click on any of these, it tells you where we are, takes you across to Adam to Solace. We also see this as when it is quiet, an interactive thing between concierge and guest. We want them to sort of stand there and engage with the guest and say, look, this is what you can go and do in London. Because at the moment they're using little printouts on their desk. The only thing that we want to change and add to this is eventually put a little printer underneath so that when you hit your directions to this place, you can print and it will just print out your little map for you. TFL updates and tube information is vital. We get up. That's the most common question is how to get somewhere. So we've incorporated this map, and this is the most used thing on the system now. And the weather one on here is not working. Upstairs. And the refurbishment. Do you have any questions about the interactive screen?
Hi, David Collins of Continental. Interested to see what you do with your menus. Do you actually print physical menus for guests in the restaurant as well?
We do. Yes. We would like to get away from that.
So would we.
And we have been looking at it, but our general manager says, well, if I gave my mum an iPad and she knows what to do with it, I think that's what we're all coming up against. Watch the spaces.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Perhaps we'll take this offline, but I'd be very interested to understand return on investment. There must have been I'd be very interested to understand ROI because there must have been quite a large outlay. Are you working to a 3, 5, 10-year business plan in terms of ROI? I'll talk to you later.
And then this brings us into the other screens. So, as I mentioned, we have a big projector at the front of the hotel. Please have a look when you go up there. It's really great. The only thing we need to do is change the lighting in the lobby, just needs dimming a little bit. It's a bit sterile at the moment. But again, it was about teching up the lobby. Information about the refurbishment was up there for the majority of the time. And people did stand and read through it. It was a bit more animated than the one on here. It was scrolling through and the lights flashing things. Again, it's got event information down the right-hand side that's pulling from our property management system. And we don't really advertise this yet, because we haven't quite finished. But this is a live feed into our room channel as well. So we've programmed channel 71 for those of you who are staying here, and it just feeds directly off the projector. But once we're fully happy with the content on the projector as well, we'll push it out and explain to the guests how to use that. This is what it looks like behind the scenes, if you like. It's a very, very short throw lens projector onto a special film. I just thought some of you might like to see it. This is the IT side. And this was something we did for an event we had downstairs when we launched the refurbishment of him. And we stuck that up on the screen. I thought I'd just give you a screenshot of it. It was very, very clever in terms of clarity and colour and catching the eye. No one walked past that screen without seeing this. So I was just giving you an idea of the high impact pictures we've been using on the screen. I hope you all saw the big 2 big screens as you were walking down the stairs. conference and events. Those link live from our PMS as well, and we've got a little map there. The ads on the right-hand side of those are the same ads we use in other areas of the hotel. And we find that if you are coming here for an event, that people don't know that we've got a bar upstairs sometimes, so we're trying to push that information discreetly at the same time. The screen out here, got the shot, right? Yeah, you can see here that we're trying to explain to people that we have got other outlets to use. And then we have 3 screens that are displaying the same information. The lounge bar behind reception and our conference events breakout area, the one there. We're doing that just because we haven't physically had the time to sit down and redo all of the designs for them. But it's working very well at the moment, and it's kind of sort of subliminal messaging, I suppose. Because when you're down in the lounge bar watching sports events, there's constant messages explaining specials on bars, specials in restaurants, specials down here. And people are inquiring about them at the bar, we're finding out. So it's doing its job. Behind reception desk, we've always had a TV up there. Sometimes on Friday afternoon, check-in does take 10 minutes to queue up and check in, so it sort of helps pass the time in that regard. But we thought if we could throw some messages out there, people maybe not be reading those at the same time. And then in the lobby we have just one pure information board that just has all of our events and where they're happening in the hotel. Again with the adverts on the right hand side,